Hello everybody. In the present lecture we shall again discuss a very important theorem of infinite product, and it states that if the series summation an square is convergent, okay, what is an? If we write the factors of the infinite product in the form of 1 plus an, okay, then the series made by the squares of the terms of an, okay, if this series is convergent, then this product again depends upon the convergence or divergence of summation n. That means the product is convergent if summation n is convergent, and the given product is divergent if summation n is divergent. Okay, so let us prove it. We take summation n square as convergent, right? I did one theorem, as you remember in my first lecture, that if any series is convergent, then its limit of nth term is always 0. That nth term will always approach towards 0, and it implies that limit n tending to infinity an square is 0. But this means that limit n tending to infinity an is also 0. Now we put the definition of limit. What is the definition of limit? Given any epsilon greater than 0, however small, there exists a positive integer m such that modulus of an minus 0 is less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m, right? This is the definition of the convergence of a sequence, not a series, right? This series is convergent, then the sequence of its terms will tend towards 0. Okay, now we apply the definition of the limit of a sequence, as this an is a sequence from which the series is formed. So there exists a positive integer m such that modulus of an minus 0 is less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. Clear? This is the definition of a convergent sequence converging to 0. Now, from this condition is true for any epsilon, right? Let us choose epsilon as 1 by 2. Let epsilon is 1 by 2. Okay. Now, if we put epsilon as 1 by 2, it implies, this condition 1 implies that modulus of an is less than 1 by 2 for all n greater than equal to m. Okay, we have taken epsilon for special purpose, that somewhere there is a use of this 1 by 2 to make some series. Let us check it. Now modulus of n is less than 1 by 2 for all n greater than equal to m. Now first we'll consider one another sequence. As I told you that this product can be converted into summation by taking the logarithm of the terms, right? Okay, now for this purpose we are consider modulus of n minus log of 1 plus n. Keep in mind, log is taken in the end to make the product into the summation. Okay, now what is log of 1 plus n? It is an minus an square by 2 plus a cube by 3 n cube by 3 minus an 4 by 4 and so on, right? And its modulus. So this is modulus of an square by 2 minus an cube by 3 plus an 4 by 4 minus and so on, its modulus. And you know that the modulus, if I take, this is always less than or equal to modulus of the individual terms. Okay, so by using the triangle inequality, right, it is less than an square by 2 modulus, then 1 by 3 modulus of an cube, then 1 by 4 modulus of an 4 plus and so on. Okay, this quantity is less than, this 1 by 3 is less than 1 by 2, this 1 by 4 is less than 1 by 2 and so on. So from here this is less than equal to 1 by 2 modulus of an square, 1 by 2 modulus of an cube, then 1 by 2 modulus of an 4 and so on. Okay, now you can take the modulus common. So we can take this is equal to 1 by 2 modulus of an square common, and inside what we have, this is 1 plus modulus of an plus modulus of an. I have taken an square common, so 1 an, then an square, and so on. And you know, now what is this? This is a geometric series with common ratio modulus of an, right? And infinite terms, you know that the sum of infinite terms when modulus is less than 1. See, when the common ratio of a geometric series is less than 1, then the sum of infinite terms will be a upon 1 minus r, right? So its sum will be 1 by 2 modulus of an square, okay, 1 upon a upon 1 minus the common ratio, right? Now you got the point. Why we have taken this epsilon is equal to 1 by 2, to keep this modulus less than 1. You can also take it as 1 by 3 or 1 by 4, but in this case you will have to remove some terms, first finite terms. So to avoid the removal of the term, we have taken here this 1 by 2. Okay, now see, 1 by 2 modulus of an square, 1 upon 1 minus modulus n. Now we shall do some construction. Suppose this is number 2. Okay, now what we have, modulus of an is less than 1 by 2. That means minus of modulus of an is greater than minus 1 by 2. So 1 minus modulus of an is greater than 1 minus 1 by 2. We have added 1 on both sides. Okay, so you have to take 1 by 2 in that case of epsilon. Okay, for 1 by 3 you have to take some another constructions. So it is better to take 1 by 2 over here. 1 minus 1 by 2, it is again 1 by 2, right? Now what we have over here, here it is 2 times 1 minus modulus of an. So write 2 times 1 minus modulus of an. We shall make these terms, okay? 2 over here, 1 minus modulus of n. So we are making this is greater than 1, okay? And it implies 1 upon 2 times 1 minus modulus of n. This is less than 1. Now to make this term, we have to multiply both sides by modulus of n square. So multiply both sides by modulus of n square. As the modulus of n square is positive quantity, so inequality will not be affected. So it is modulus of always when multiply by something, you have to keep in mind that the quantity by which we are multiplying must be positive if the inequality remain the same. Otherwise, if the quantity by which we are going to multiply, then the inequality will get reversed. Okay, if it is negative, then the less than sign will be converted into greater sign, right? So modulus of an square is positive, so inequality will remain the same. 2 times 1 minus modulus of an. This is less than modulus of an square. Okay, now see, this is suppose number 3. Now use 2 and 3. From 2 we have what we have, modulus of an minus log of 1 plus an. Modulus of an minus 1 plus log n. Okay, see, this quantity is less than this quantity, and this quantity is less than this. So overall from this and this we'll get this is less than modulus of an square. And since it is square, so you can write it as an square. Okay, now what we have, modulus of an minus log of 1 plus an. Okay, this is less than an square. But what, summation an square, n varies from 1 to infinity. Both of these are positive term series, right? This is also positive term series because it is, if I make the summation, take the summation on both sides, this is a positive term series, this is a positive term series. So by comparison test, first form, okay, And as this condition is true for all n greater than equal to m, so you can say it is comparison test third form, that if this series is convergent, then this series is also convergent. Okay, but this is convergent, you are given that it is convergent. So comparison test third form implies that summation modulus of an minus log of 1 plus an is convergent. But when the modulus of the term of a series is convergent, that means the series summation n varies from 1 to infinity an minus log of 1 plus an is absolutely convergent, and every absolutely convergent series is convergent as well. So this series is convergent. Okay, modulus convergent implies this series is convergent. But this is convergent. This is the sum of two series, right? See, summation an and summation log 1 plus an. The sum of two series is convergent. It means what? Either both of the series are convergent or both are divergent, right? We know if two series are convergent, then their sum or difference is always convergent. But the converse is not true. Means if the sum or difference of two series is convergent, then the individual series may or may not converge. So both of the series either convergent or divergent simultaneously. Okay, it is not possible that one series is convergent and another is divergent, because if one series is convergent, another is divergent, their sum or difference is always divergent. So the difference of two series is convergent implies that summation an and summation log of 1 plus n both converge or diverge together. These are converge or diverge together. Okay, so it means what? That if summation an is convergent, summation an varies from 1 to infinity is convergent, implies that summation log of 1 plus an varies from 1 to infinity is convergent. Okay, but this implies that pi n varies from 1 to infinity 1 plus an. See, summation of log summation of log means log of 1 plus a1 plus log of 1 plus a2 and so on, log of somewhere it is log of 1 plus an and so on. So this can be written as log of product 1 plus an varies from 1 to infinity, right? Now log of a plus log of b is log of a into b. Okay, so this is convergent to, if this is convergent to suppose s, it means pi n varies from 1 to infinity, 1 plus n will converge to exponential s. Okay, so pi n varies from 1 to infinity, 1 plus n is also convergent. Okay, and if this divergent, this series is divergent, means it is diverges to infinity, then this will diverge to infinity, and then this will divergence to exponential infinity, and exponential infinity is again infinity. If this diverges to minus infinity, then it diverges to minus infinity. It means this diverges to exponential minus infinity, and exponential minus infinity is 0. That means the product is divergent to 0. So if summation n is convergent, then the product is convergent. If summation n converges to infinity, then product converges to infinity. If summation n diverges to minus infinity, then the product will diverge to 0. Okay, that's all about this lecture. Next theorems we shall discuss in my next lecture. Till then, keep watching and all the best. Bye.